When did you realize then that the Olympics was in your destiny and this was not just like a competitive sport that you were going to do in your youth?
Yeah. I think that was my first juniors. After qualifying for my first juniors, before that, I was just kind of like doing skating just to like do it, like to have something to do with friends, whatever. But then when I qualified for my first juniors, even though I broke my ankle during the qualifications, so I didn't skate the actual competition.
Yeah.
At juniors, but when I made the team, I was just like, man, this is amazing. Like I really want to do this. I want to keep doing this forever and ever, or as long as my body can hold.
Sure.
And then I don't know. I feel like it kind of just like as I kept traveling, I was like, okay, this is my next goal. This is my next goal. This is my next goal. Like. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like some people are just like, oh, when I was like 5 years old, I've always wanted to go to the Olympics and stuff like that. I don't know. I just feel like for me, I was just kind of like, it was kind of like a step-by-step thing. Like,
sure.
Obviously, like, the Olympics were like a huge thing. I was like, oh, I wanted to go, but like, it was never in my sights until probably like 2014, 2015, maybe 2016. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So. I'm sorry.
No worries. And if you don't mind me asking, 2016, how young were you?
I was 16.
16.
Yeah,
okay, so you're 16 and you're like, this is something that I want to do at the Olympic level.
Yeah.
That's
exactly.
pretty cool.
Yeah, and also like the thing is, I was watching the Olympics for Rio, I think, at like Simone Biles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, I was just like thinking like, what if I made it to the games? Like, what if I went to the Olympics and...
That's so cool.
Like, whether or not I like did well or not, or whether or not I did well, I feel like I would just be super, super happy with the fact that I even went. And then I like started getting chills, and I'm just like, okay, now I know that I have to go, or like I have to at least try to go. So
that's very cool. That's very cool. Because honestly, so in 2002, I watched the Winter Olympics that were actually here in Salt Lake City, and they reintroduced the sport of skeleton.
Oh wow.
So, because it hadn't been in an Olympic sport for 50 years, right?
Really?
And so they reintroduced it for the first time that 2002.
Uh-huh.
And I was living in New York City at the time, and then I remember watching after the Olympics. Actually, I came here to Salt Lake to visit my parents, and we were watching the Olympics. Then after the local news came on, and then it said on the local news, due to the skeleton being a new sport, we're looking for athletes that might want to compete in the 2006 Torino Olympics. Come try out. So I ended up going back to New York, flew to Park City like 3-4 weeks later for the tryouts.
Yeah.
Trained in Park City for a month to try and go to the Torino Olympics.
Yeah.
We were not a very good nation in the sport of skeleton, myself included. Only one American made that Olympic team.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and didn't even place, right? But I know the dream to like, I want to try, but you've succeeded. I didn't succeed.
Oh, dang. That's okay, it's okay.
Yeah.
At least you tried though. I feel like most people don't even like have the opportunity to do so. So
right.
I think that's super cool.
Yeah. I can't say what if, right? Because I tried.
Exactly. Like, no regrets though. So.
Exactly. And it was a fun experience for a full month during camp. I trained up in Park City every day. I had to eat right, train right. It was like kind of fun to be like competitive, like really try to be a competitive athlete, right? Even though it didn't happen, but versus just a weekend athlete, you know.
That's still pretty cool. It's cool.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so you moved to Park City. You moved to Salt Lake City and live in Park City. Just out of curiosity, does every athlete need to come here to go to the games, or?
No, but it's recommended.
Okay.
More just like because there's like faster skaters who mainly train here. So like the national team, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like obviously if you want to go and like train back home or in Virginia or wherever you're originally from, then go ahead and like do it. But yeah, because like Salt Lake is like where most of the fastest people are like based, and it's just like normal for people to come here and like start training.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then you can really gauge yourself with your competitors, your teammates.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And
Get
then
pushed.
like, get faster and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, that makes sense. Because if you're skating by yourself at home, you might think, "Man, I'm fast."
Yeah. Exactly.
And
Exactly. Yeah.
then you
Yeah.
compete,
You
you're
come
like,
here and you're like, yeah. Yeah. But then there's also that option where like you can. So some people do this. Like there's an option where you can come for like the summer or something and then train here and then just go back to wherever you're from and then keep training.
Yeah.
And then come here for like 2 weeks before an actual competition, just like train here, just to like you said, like gauge yourself and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of like boxing. I used to be an amateur boxer,
Ooh.
and you'd go to training camp, right? And usually it was high altitude places. So Salt Lake's probably perfect, right, for you guys training.
Oh yeah. Salt Lake is the prime because like you said, altitude and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't do very well with altitude. I hate it because I cannot breathe. Right. but it's really good because then if you travel to a different country for like a competition, then you have that like more oxygen or whatever scientific thing that goes into your body because you live in altitude. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. And then obviously you were in Park City, so you had even more altitude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, during the games it was great. So I don't know. I might just like do that again.
Yeah.
Like after during the games year the trials year, I just might go back and hopefully they'll take me. I'm sure they will, but yeah.
And isn't there science that says sleeping in high altitude can be just as advantageous as training in high altitude?
Yeah. Sleeping in altitude is very, very good. So it's cool because so the people that I lived with, the Sorensens, they the dad, Robert Sorensen, he is very, very smart, and also Melissa is too. But Robert is super smart and very scientific about everything, and he has this he was telling me about how the altitude is really good for your breathing, and they have a dog too, and he was telling me how the dog Max, he would he's able to live longer or something like that because he lives in altitude compared to other dogs, and so I was just this is so cool. I don't exactly remember what he said because my brain's not as smart as his, but yeah, it's pretty cool stuff.
Awesome, excellent. Well, that's fantastic. Very, very cool. All right. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, you've got a nightmare story that you're going to share with us. And then hopefully there was maybe a lesson that was learned from the nightmare.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Well, stay tuned, guys. You're not going to want to go anywhere. We will be right back.